Hello and welcome to English Writing 303. My name is Rafael Sanchez, Professor Sanchez. I'm really happy to be teaching this course. I know that being online is not necessarily the choice of 100% of you. Some of you may have gotten used to this whole process by now. So hopefully you can help me out as much as I am willing to help you guys out. But back to just sort of the short introduction. Which is what I'm really here for. I just want to show you maybe a little bit of the outline of the modules that I've created. Some engagement with the books, not too much, just a little brief intro. My motivations perhaps for teaching this course and some of my background. So hopefully all of those things can mesh together right away, and we can provide enough of a dynamic environment as we need to sort of get as much information and knowledge into our brains as we possibly can and express them in a way that we're all comfortable with. So, my name is Rafael Sanchez, Professor Sanchez, I guess to most of you. A little bit about my background. I graduated from UC Davis with an English and philosophy degree, so some of that stuff tends to bleed together, so you'll have to excuse me if I tend to wander off, philosophically speaking. Hopefully you guys will have some patience with that and sort of figure out kind of sort of how to pick and choose the material that's going to be helpful to you. I think it's all helpful, but you know, who knows? We'll figure it out together. From there I got an English degree from Sacramento City College. I actually did get an English degree from Sacramento City College, but Sac State, I guess, is the important. But I did go to Sacramento City College for quite a while, so that's something that I lean on in my background when I'm engaging with students too. But I guess the relevant information here is that I graduated from UC Davis. I got a degree in English where I got some pedagogical experience, meaning I got some teaching stuff out of the way at Sac State, but my real teaching didn't begin until I went to Fresno State, which is where I got my MFA, which for those of you that are majoring in English, which is probably a lot of you, an MFA, as you may or may not know, is the fine arts degree. I wrote fiction. I published some stories. I'm not super famous, so you don't have to necessarily try to look me up, because you may find some obscure stories here and there, and I may send out a link if you are very curious about that. But it's not really relevant to this course necessarily, except for the fact that it spurred my interest in fiction early and often. So. My engagement with this particular course in terms of fiction, writing, and plays, and even poetry to an extent, is informed by that background. So I'm hoping that that will help us all along. So if you're interested in that background, you can contact me directly. I am more than happy to talk ad nauseum about my experiences. But for now, I just wanted to focus a little bit more on English Writing 303 and let you guys know that some of this material is very important to me in a way that maybe is close to my heart. So I'm hoping that you will see that bleed through in what I have you guys doing and sort of know that my heart is deeply into this. And I'm hoping that your heart will be perhaps just as into it, but maybe enough so that you can engage with the material in a fairly in-depth fashion. Okay, I have the module up right now, but these are this is the first one that I'm going to be working with. Sorry, there we go. Sorry, everything's backwards. This is the Seagull Reader. There's 3 volumes of this. I'm starting with the stories, but you also have the plays and the poem, which we're also going to be dipping from. So make sure that you have this at some point, have some access to this. The stories you can probably look at pretty easily, most of them, but the intros and some of the material, if you try to look some of these terms up yourself, it's going to be a little bit scattershot, and I'll give you some material that will help you out, help you engage in a way that these intros do as well. And what I mean by that is that they have some terms, some introductory terms, things you need to know about fiction, or things you need to know about poetry, or things you need to know about play structure. So it has a pretty good collection of terms in these intros, and the way that they introduce the stories. I think it's pretty helpful. But maybe right away you should be able to engage with most of the tasks and the discussion board threads and stuff. But once we get into sort of the real sort of deeper understanding of the critical theory and stuff like that, some more in-depth engagement with it can be started with those Seagull Reader introductions. So the other book that we're going to be doing a little bit later in the semester is No Country for Old Men. I picked it mainly because it was Cormac McCarthy. I taught Blood Meridian in 300 for a while, and so I taught No Country for Old Men once or twice in a 302 or 303 course, I think the last times I took it, or I taught it. So I am very familiar with all of these books, so hopefully we can engage with that a little bit later on in the semester when we have a little bit more background. You can go ahead and get started on that anytime you want if you really feel a need to. The only thing I do, that's kind of how I used to work. The only thing I would warn you about is that you probably want to review those sections as we get to them in the course of the book. So more of that later. I'm going to go to the modules. This is the course syllabi. This is the thing that you're going to be able to access right away. So I would suggest that you do look through that because there will be sort of a short syllabus quiz. Not super hard. You can take it as many times as you want, and it gives you some hints about where to look. But you do want to, that's going to open up in the first week of the courses. But this other stuff should be open and available to you anytime you want to take a look at it, starting now. The first week also has some discussion, a discussion board. It has you do a little short video introductions, but don't let that scare you. If you have an issue with that, just email me, let me know what's going on. But I have some instructions there on how you might be able to do that. It just creates a little bit more of a dynamic environment. And I just kind of like it, but there's no real, pressure necessarily to do it or not do it, except for the fact that you do need to post something, and that's what I would prefer. That's what I like. But if you really are super camera shy for whatever reason, you can maybe record yourself, with the camera off, whatever. Just something to express some kind of dynamic engagement. I am a little bit flexible on that, but take a look at that, see if that's helpful to you. And the more people that we have engaging in that way, the better. Technically, I guess you could type up an introduction, but please email me if you want to do that. I will take that on a case-by-case basis. So don't let that scare you. They're not all going to be like that. That's why I bring it up. But the first one, I just kind of like to see a little bit more interaction than I would normally do. It's just my way of making it a little bit more special. But that's kind of the first week and the first stuff. I may add some stuff to this before I open it up. This is a pretty early engagement with it that I'm giving you, but I just thought it would be helpful to have this video up as this stuff opens up and as I send it out. Okay, so not a ton of information just yet, but please email me directly, respond if you need to, and let me know what's going on. If you have some issues with engaging with the course in any way, I am perfectly open to suggestions, some thoughts, and anything that might be able to help you with if I can. All right, but that's the first place you want to go. You want to go to these things, take a look at them. They give you some communication policies, some ways to engage with other departments even in the college to help you get started. Okay, so I hope you look at that as soon as you can. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you.